I had the opportunity to look over these scripture readings for this past week with a couple of groups. One was a group of Methodist pastors that meet down here at Pleasantville, and the other was a group of people that meet in my office on Thursday afternoons for lectionary lunch. It was interesting that both groups kind of zeroed in on one spot in this gospel, and the Spirit immediately drove him out into the wilderness. And we pondered, what's this immediacy all about? You know, here's Jesus. He comes through the water. He comes out of the waters of baptism. The heavens are torn open. The dove comes down. The voice says, "You're my beloved Son. I'm pleased with you." And you'd think, after getting the endorsement of the CEO of the universe, it's time to move into that corner office. Start the job, right? I mean, but no, immediately off to the wilderness. I got to thinking about that, and this story kept kicking around in my head, and I've looked it up. It's in Living Presence, A Sufi Way to Mindfulness and the Essential Self by Kabir Helminski. And I think it sheds a little light on the immediacy. And there's the story. The Sufi came to a remote village where he knew no one. After meeting some people, he found that those of this village had an unusual hunger for spiritual knowledge. They invited him to share his knowledge at a gathering they would arrange. Although this Sufi was not yet fully confident that he could transmit spiritual knowledge, he accepted their invitation. Many people attended that gathering, and the Sufi found his audience to be extremely receptive to what he had to say. And most significantly, he found that he was able to express the teachings he had received with an eloquence he had never before experienced. He went to sleep that night feeling very pleased. The next day, he met one of the elders of the village. They greeted each other as brothers, and the elder expressed his gratitude for the previous evening. The Sufi was beginning to feel very special. He even reasoned to himself that he had been guided to this village to impart the wisdom that he had accumulated through his long years of training and service. Perhaps, if these people were sincere, he could stay with them for a while and really offer them some extended instruction in the way of love and remembrance. They were certainly a deserving and sincere community. Just then, the elder invited him to another gathering that evening. The villagers assembled again that evening, but this time, one of them was chosen at random to address the gathering. He too gave a most eloquent discourse, full of wisdom and love. After the meeting, the Sufi again met with the elder. "As you can see," the elder began, "the friend speaks to us in many forms. We are all special here, and we are all receptive to the truth, and so the truth can easily express itself. Know that the you who felt special last night and the you who felt diminished tonight are neither real." Now, I think that point needs to be heard again. I'll say it to the choir this time. Know that the you who felt special last night and the you who felt diminished tonight are neither real. Prostrate them before the inner friend if you want to find wisdom, and be free of judging yourself harshly. When Jesus comes out of the water and the CEO of the universe says, "You're my boy," he's at a very vulnerable place. He's at a place where the wild beasts are loose, the wild beast of the ego. The ego has a couple of wild beasts, and they're under the service of hubris, of pride. One is, "Wow, I am great. Look how special I am." Of course, that's just being full of pride. And the other is, oh, wow, I got rejected. They don't really like me. Oh, what a horrible person I am. And there you have the other part of hubris, which is self-pity. And the point of this story is neither one of them is real. Neither one of them is that child of God that God called into creation. Jesus does battle with those two and makes them prostrate before the friend, the beloved. It's our work in Lent to do the same, because hubris will take us down the path of destruction. But humility, which comes from the root word humus, and you know what humus is? Dirt, the earth, the ground, my essential self. The humus is the place where we ground ourselves, become and becoming the person that God called and created us to be. And in doing that, when we're in here, we're all special. When we're out that door, we're all special. Because being the person that God called and created you to be, then you, in the most eloquent ways in your life, in your living, reveal the truth of God to our world.